Do you have highly emotional or disturbing dreams? Today, we're going to talk about tips on how to purify your dreams here on The Spiritual American. Welcome back, everyone. Thank you all for being here. Today, we're going to talk about dreams a little bit and talk about I wrote a list of things that over time I've kind of come to understand that for me, working on these things has really helped to calm down my dreams, believe it or not. Very rarely now do I have a very highly emotional dream. And it really, I think overall, it's worked, like a lot of the stuff that I'm going to talk about today. So, what about dreams? What do I mean by disturbing dreams, highly emotional dreams? I don't know if you've all had these, but in growing up, we all had the dream that your teeth are falling out, the dreams that you can't find something, the dream that you're late, the dream about the relationship or the breakup or the no relationship, the physical interaction dreams, whether it's a fighting or something else or whatever. There's all kinds of dreams that are going on. And what are dreams? So, from a spiritual standpoint, the understanding is that dreams are basically your unprocessed emotions. At night, when you're asleep, the mind says, great, I can make up a story about this and feel this. I can make up a story about this to feel this. So the mind is creating the circumstances for you to feel the feelings. That's what's happening. Kind of amazing, right? That the mind could do that. It's not always a bad dream, right? But today we're talking about the negative dreams, the disturbing dreams, the highly emotional dreams. Usually they're fearful, right? Fearful dreams. So I wrote a list. So let's go through the list and we'll discuss what did I incorporate? What things did I do or what principles do we think will work in terms of purifying our dreams? So one is simplify your life. Very easy. This thing, early to bed, early to rise, makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. You would never let a child stay up till midnight. Why do we stay up till midnight? I've been through this on many discussions with people as a nurse and also health-wise. Why do we have this lifestyle where we are so out of sync with the natural rhythms of the day? So one thing we could do is try. I'm not saying do it overnight because habits don't get changed overnight. But think about it. Put it in the thinking stage. How can I simplify my life? How can I start organizing my life around what I would consider normal or healthy rhythms? Waking up early, maybe getting some exercise, eating properly, going to work, having a good attitude. It's so simple, but how much do we get off of that during the day and during the night? Whatever emotions that we're creating during the day that aren't processed, possibility for dreams, right? So simplifying our life and being in such a way that we have stability and repetition and routine and things like that is very healthy for us. So second thing is elevate my self-image. So what does that mean? In spirituality, we talk about the soul. So I'm a soul. My nature is peace. Right there, I'm elevating my self-image. Another way to elevate my self-image is to talk about myself to myself in relation to God. So I am God's child. I am a good person. Like all these positive self-identifying sentences I can tell myself and begin to change my own self-image. Now, for those of you who are hearing that and are saying, no way, yeah, right, that's just words, doesn't mean anything. I'm going to say that all of us are starting from a place where none of this seems real. All of this happy, good, positive stuff doesn't seem real because we're suffering, because we have a lot of pain. We have a lot of fear. We have a lot of maybe depression, maybe anxiety, things going on in our life. So when you hear these things, it doesn't sound like it's real. So I would suggest if you're listening to me talk about elevating my self-image and it doesn't sound real to you or it doesn't sound possible and you still are interested, I would say go back and look at those first 100 episodes of this podcast. We went through so many different aspects and it will be helpful to sort out some of that emotional turmoil to get to this place where I'm talking about now, where I'm actually looking at, okay, how can I get my dreams even now to calm down? So I invite you to do that if you're hearing this like it's not possible. So elevate my self image. I'm a soul. My nature is peace. I actually am a benevolent person. I actually am a good person. And think about that throughout the day. Like, try to remind yourself throughout the day. Remember, the dreams are unprocessed emotions. So whenever I'm afraid or anxious, or maybe even the food is bothering my mind, if I eat poorly, it's going to affect my mind also. There's plenty of things that can create disturbance in my mind throughout the day. So elevate my self-image. Third thing, relationship to God. I'm God's child. God is my father. Sometimes we think about God as like this untouchable being. And in a way, maybe he is untouchable because he's not physical, right? But it doesn't mean he's not touchable with the heart. So I can feel connection to God. I'm a soul. God is a soul. I have the same spiritual DNA as God. Loving, peaceful, powerful, pure, happy, blissful, wise being I am. God is the ocean of peace, the ocean of love, the ocean of bliss, the ocean of wisdom. It's the same. So I can remember that, and that can also help me feel better about myself throughout the day and mitigate some of those excess emotional states. Next one is service. So one thing I can do throughout the day is have an attitude of service, have the heart of service. I really just want to be helpful and be of service. And again, I'm saying to those of you who are hearing this and are saying, I have to say it because I spent so many years listening to people talk like this and not believing them. Just saying. I spent most of my life listening to people talk about happy, good, serve, this, that, and not believing one word of it. If you're one of those, go back and listen to those episodes. It means, I'm going to say right now, it means that there's a lot of excess emotional stuff in there that needs to get sorted out. All of us have it, like I said, so don't feel bad. Service, heart of service. I'm here to serve. I'm here to do something. That's what I want to be. I want to be helpful. I want to be of use. I want to use my life in a worthwhile way. That's the heart of service. Next one is take care of your health. This is definitely a big one. Your health affects everything, isn't it? There are so many times where I've heard in movies and in literature where people say health is the number one thing, especially as people get older. You realize that your health is really your main sustenance. If something's going on with your body, you really can't think of anything else. We saw this in healthcare. I'm sure some of you are familiar with Maslow's hierarchy. Spirituality is way up at the top of that pyramid, and the bottom line is like food, water, shelter. So our physical needs and our health and our relationships are very, very important. The spirituality comes on top of that. If all that other stuff needs to be worked on as well. So take care of your health. What does that mean? Does that mean I'm going to have a perfect diet, perfect body, perfect like tomorrow? No. It means today. Can I at least start thinking about taking care of myself, taking care of my body and my health? Very important. Whatever that means for you. Everybody's different. Next one, have the courage to stop when there is a disturbance. Have the courage to stop when there is a disturbance. So what does that mean? If I'm in a situation where I'm in a relationship, I'm in a conversation with someone and I start to feel bad. And maybe they're not doing anything wrong, maybe they're not doing anything outrageous, but for some reason I'm starting to feel bad. Maybe I feel jealous, maybe I feel sorry for myself or something like that. Have the courage to take care of yourself in that situation. Don't let the feeling continue to proliferate. Do something. And I'm going to say, and I said this in a recent episode also, if you're in a situation where your feelings are there and you can't talk yourself out of it in the moment, get yourself out of the situation. It's okay. It's okay for you to pull yourself out of a situation that's stimulating something in you. It's not responsible, but it's stimulating. and maybe you can't process it right away, then stop the situation. At least you're caring for yourself. Do you see like the principle here? The less emotional I am through the day, the better my dreams are going to be, right? Okay. And then practicing love and acceptance. And I'm going to say primarily love and accept yourself. Primarily. Don't even worry about anybody else just yet. However you are, whatever's going on, it's okay for you to accept yourself exactly the way you are. As a matter of fact, it's essential. Because haven't we all felt the inner critic, the inner sadness of feeling disappointed that I'm not measuring up to some voice in my head or some idea of how I'm supposed to be or how I should aspire to be, but will never make it? You know, what about that one? Internal torture, right? Practice love and acceptance. I am worthy. I'm okay. I'm alive. I'm here. I'm deserving of love and respect, and I'm going to give myself love and respect exactly where I am. Nobody does anything for no reason. If you're sitting out there and you're thinking, well, I did this, I did that, and your mind is full of all this stuff, just realize nobody does anything for no reason. There's always a reason. We make a decision based on feelings or based on whatever's going on in the moment. It doesn't mean you have to make the same decision again. I have an 18-year-old son, and he said something to me yesterday. He apologized this morning. He said, I'm sorry about this and that. And then he was telling me about something happened at school. He didn't tell me the details, but he said that something happened between him and his friends. And, he did tell me something. He let down one of his friends. Something happened, and he was supposed to do something, and he didn't, and he felt really bad. And he goes, yeah, that's something I have to add to my list of regrets. I said, no, you don't. I said, just don't do it again. So you see how we can be encouraging to ourselves? So love and acceptance means there's no room for regret. There's no room for guilt. There's no room for these like thick self-hatred, self-negative emotions. Have the courage to push them away. Bring in love, bring in acceptance. Even if you have to say, even though I did all this, even though I did all that, I'm just going to accept myself. Like I'm not going to allow that self-criticism and a self-attack. That's also emotional, isn't it? Like attacking and then I'm upset and then whatever. And then you go down and you try to sleep. What do you expect is going to happen? Same thing when we meditate. You sit down to meditate. People say, okay, I sit down to meditate. My mind goes crazy. Well, why is my mind going crazy? It's because all day my mind's going nuts. And then you say, okay, go sit down and be quiet. Really? No. We have to work on our whole day. Doesn't mean you have to be literal and get overwhelmed. It just means think about this. If you like what you're hearing right now and it feels like, okay, it feels encouraging. It feels like, all right, this sounds pretty good. Write down those steps. So I'll say them again. Simplify your life. Elevate your self-image. Relationship with God. Service. Heart of service. Take care of your health. Have courage to stop the disturbing feelings and experiences. So if it's an experience, you got to stop it. If it's the feeling, that inner thing, stop it. And then practice love and acceptance, primarily for yourself. So those are the items that I wanted to share. I have found that working on these things over time has created a situation where I rarely have a disturbing dream. And it's nice to be able to have sleep without that mental thing going on. So I will leave it there. I hope you enjoyed this talk. If you are interested in learning more, there are videos in the description below. Also, there is online free meditation class and the Brahma Kumari's website. You can check out if there's a center near you, meditation center near you. And you can, if you like this vibe, if you like and you want to learn more, you can check that out as well. So I will leave it there. Remember, our slogan is heal, empower, and serve. And until next time, take care.